Hi people, what up? How you doing? Hope you're good and hope you are fine. Today is our very first segment on economy on a budget with Northquest Finance. And my name is Oranu Sidora. Today's topic is the Nigerian budget. The 50-30-20 budget rule is built in America, but it breaks in Lagos. And I don't mean breaks slightly inconvenient. If you're sitting in Lagos right now, trying to split your salary 50-30-20, your salary is going to finish and you're going to end the month in debt, confused, and wondering if budgeting is a scam. It's not a scam. The rule does not just fit our economy size. So today, I'm going to be giving you the Nigerian version, the one that accounts for dollar rates, annual rent, family obligation, and the special kind of financial chaos we go through life every day. So first, what is 50-30 rule? It was actually popularized by Elizabeth Warren. She's an American senator and a bankruptcy law professor. So the idea is very clean. 50% goes to needs, that's your rent, food, transport, bills. 30% is for wants, that's the lifestyle, fun, and eating out. Then 20% goes to savings or debt repayment. Now, on paper, that's beautiful. But on a US salary, in a country where rent is monthly, inflation is like 3%, and your family doesn't even call when their shop burns down, that's absolutely perfect. But let's now run it in Nigeria. Let's say you earn 300,000 naira a month. That's roughly what a mid-level professional earns in Lagos today, if I'm being honest. So 50% on needs is like 150,000 naira. Your rent alone, if you are living in a decent one-bedroom in Yaba or Surulere, that's probably 800,000 naira to 1.2-1.5 million naira per year paid upfront. Depending on the time you watch this video, that's 67,000 to 100,000 just going towards rent every month. Before you get food, DSTV, data, fuel, generator. We haven't even talked about NEPA. So we move to 30% on wants. That's like 90,000 naira. That sounds like a lot until you factor in you already blew 15,000 on wants just trying to survive the commute this week. Okada, Uber, eating out, you got home late and you can't even cook. 20% on savings, 60,000 naira. Wonderful. Your mom calls and tells you that your uncle needs surgery the next day and they need like 80,000 naira by morning. Your savings have just become an emergency response. It's not even building wealth at all. This isn't irresponsibility. This is just the Nigerian financial landscape. The rule doesn't account for it. So we need to build the one that works for us. Here is the framework. I call it the 45, 20, 20, 10, and 5% rule. These are 5 buckets, not 3. This is because our lives live on precision. So I'm going to be breaking it down for you. 45% goes to needs, 20% goes to lifestyle, 20% goes to savings and investment, 10% goes to emergency, and 5% goes to growth. I'm going to be walking you through each of them. So the 45% goes to needs. This is your social category. The rent, provision, feeding, transportation, utilities, airtime, school fees, as if you have kids though. In Nigeria, the needs are like heavier than in the West. So we give it more room, okay? But 45%, not 50%. That's discipline. So 25% goes to lifestyle. This is where you live, okay? Eating out, outing, Netflix, the clothes you wear, gifts, church offerings, Ashrebi contributions. This is like everything we do daily. Notice that I did not call wants because in our culture, there are things that are not optional, like Owambe. Right now is like a relationship maintenance, okay? Tithe is spiritual, and this bucket respects that. On to the next one, 20% savings and investment. Same percentage as the original rule, but this strategy changes. Why? Because of inflation, Naira is sitting in a savings account, is quietly dying. This 20% should be working. Dollar-denominated assets, money market funds, treasury bills, real estate. Don't just save, okay? Deploy. Invest. It's best to invest. Then the 10% goes to emergency. This is actually new. The original rule had no dedicated emergency line. But in Nigeria, emergencies are not rare events. They are like monthly subscriptions. Someone can be sick today, tomorrow your roof can be leaking, the next day generator can be having issues. So these things comes up weekly, monthly, anytime. You just need a dedicated budget that can replenish you every single month. So 10% is non-negotiable. 5% goes to growth. This is the bucket most people usually ignore, especially when money is tight. Growth means learning, building, and creating. This is a course. It's like a tool for your side hustle, a small domain name, upgrading your skills. This 5% is your investment in your income ceiling. Small now, it compounds over time and grows over time. Why our reality demands this? Let me be honest about 3 things that make personal finance in Nigeria structurally different. One is our inflation is eating our savings. Nigeria's inflation has been running above 20% for the better part of last 2 years. If you saved 100,000 in January and pulled it out in December, the real value of that money shrink, even if the number on your app says the same. That's why saving buckets in the framework has to be investment forward. Naira in a piggy bank is losing a race every day. 2, our rent is annual. This is one of the most brutal structural differences. In America, they pay rent monthly, but here in Lagos, your landlord wants rent every year, sometimes 2. This means every month you need to be like mentally ready, mentally prepared for saving towards getting that lump yearly. If you don't plan for this specifically, your rent season will destroy your budget every time it arrives, and it always arrives. 3, our emergencies are monthly. The emergency funds for people that stay abroad is for rare situations, because these ones, they have their own budgets, a job loss, hospital stay. But here in Nigeria, the emergency is your cousin calling for school fees, or your landlord adding up agreement fee, or is it the price of tomatoes going up, or the price of fuel going up? These things happens constantly. These things are very normal. So your budget must have a permanent and dedicated line so that you'll be able to use them well to survive. Now, I'm going to actually tell you how to implement this. Here's how to start. Today, not next month. So step 1, get your after-tax income number, not your gross salary, your take-home. Everything else is a percentage of that. Step 2, create 5 separate envelopes. It can be physical or digital. I use different bank accounts or wallets. So you can label them needs, lifestyle, savings and investments, emergency, and growth. Step 3, the moment your salary hits, split it. Don't touch the money. First of all, you have to split it. This is the most important habit for you to grow. Step 4, track your needs category for the first month. Be honest. Most people discover that needs are actually being inflated by things that belong to lifestyle. Just find those leaks. Step 5, for the saving bucket, pick one vehicle and start. In Northquest Finance app, just pick one investment plan for that month. One last thing, if your income is not regular, whether you're a freelancer, you run a business, or earn multiple streams of income, you don't apply percentage to a fixed number. You apply them to every deposit, every single money that comes in. That's just the principle. The 50-30-20 rule is not a bad rule. It was just not designed for us, and that's okay. We can actually design for ourselves. That's the 45-20-20-10 5% I talked about earlier. It accounts for our inflation, our annual rent, our families, and reality. Personal finance is not a foreign language we have to translate. If this was useful, share it to one person who needs to hear this, and drop in the comments which bucket are you struggling with the most, and I'm going to help in the next video around the most common answer. See you next week.